Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show today is The Power of Etiquette and Manners. And I just want to give a shout out to our guest from last week, Jane Mallion. This is her book. I purchased it, Scone or Scone, The Essential Guide to British Afternoon Tea. It's a fabulous book, and I highly recommend that you pick it up. This show is just such a wonderful breath of fresh air because of the British School of Excellence and the principal, Mr. Philip SYKES. He brings such incredible people to this platform. I'm eternally grateful. Let's bring him out. Welcome.
Good morning, Dr. Jacalyn. Good morning and afternoon, evening to where everyone is in the world. It's absolutely a joy. And as we always say, we coined the phrase, it's Friday. And it is, I just look so forward to this opportunity and moment. And we had such an amazing show on Sunday afternoon, and it was just brilliant bringing in those incredible people from all over the world just to share their knowledge and areas of expertise. And just everything you're doing is just so phenomenal. So what a joy to be with you today.
Well, thank you, Philip. And really the pleasure is mine because you are fantastic. I love Leanne. We have to give a shout out to her. Last week, we had an incredible show with Jane and lovely women from around the world. We actually had instructions on how to have an afternoon tea party. And I learned so much that I had to pick up the book.
Absolutely. And Jane really does bring beautiful energy, and you can see the passion. And a lot of people might just think afternoon tea is just sort of pouring yourself a cup of tea and having a few biscuits or a scone, or scone as some people like to call it. But there's so much more to the art of afternoon tea. There is such a wonderful nuance around afternoon tea. You can learn so much about how to sort of just connect with one another, just to down tools, be present, be in the room. And something that I really loved, one of the takeaways I really took away from not just what Jane was talking about, but one of your guests that came on Sunday, she talked about presence intelligent. Be present in everything we do, and how we can, get our brains into a certain mindset before we take on a task, or before we go into work, or before we head back home for the evening, having left the workplace. And this is something here at our organization we are so fastidious about, is that situational awareness, that emotional intelligence, that emotional connection with one another. And that's really, in essence, what the power of etiquette and manners are really all about, is connecting, building relationships, giving people confidence, giving people that opportunity to really put their next foot forward with great confidence and sort of just great trust and emotion and energy. And how do we show up every single day?
Brilliant. Absolutely. And Philip, we've spoken before about the fact in traditional education, school, we're not taught etiquette and manners. We're not taught how to communicate effectively or how to listen. And the work that you and your team is doing is just tremendous. It's so needed more now than ever. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. And we just love what we do, and just seeing people blossom. I think I used the same example last week about that orchid. When you put a beautiful orchid plant in the right light, with the right amount of warmth, with just enough water each week, it starts to develop and grow and mature. And then the most beautiful flowers start to flourish and blossom and bloom. And that for us is really the analogy of what we're all about, is let's call it growing orchids. That's what we love to do.
And I love that analogy. You did not use that last week that I remember. That's a good one. I have to remember that. So before we bring out our guest, I was reading her package of information. And one thing that I noted was that she referenced speaking with you and learning how long is appropriate to actually look someone in the eye. So I'm wondering if you could just address that, because I'm really curious about it.
Absolutely. And this is really important, because in everything in life, we've obviously got to take into account cultural differences. And that is the power of etiquette. It's those rules of engagement. So let's get rid of that word etiquette, because a lot of people think it's pompous, or it's for the smart or posh people, or they think, etiquette. We don't need that. And actually, on the contrary, we actually do need it. We need etiquette and manners. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it developing good human skills or good human beings. Eye contact is one of the most important and powerful things we can do and engage with one another. And that for us, we always sort of suggest 3 seconds eye contact, long enough to ascertain the color of someone's eyes, and then to go into what we call the human triangle. So then go to the nose, go to the chin, go to one of the earlobes, go back to the forehead, go back to the eyes for a split second. So you move around the human triangle. You do not break rapport. Because if I'm connecting with you face to face, Dr. Jacalyn, and I sort of gaze over there, is there someone more important in the room, or I'm looking around while I'm talking to you, you're not going to feel connected on any level. Actually, the trust would have been broken. The rapport would have been broken. So for those of you out there, this is something that is so key. And as I mentioned earlier, with human cultural differences, for example, if I were to meet, let's say, a woman from the Arabic community, prolonged eye contact would definitely not be acceptable. So I might even just shorten it to 2 seconds and then go to the human triangle. So we just need to be aware that some cultures very much connect on slightly longer, prolonged eye contact, others don't. And in certain cultures through Africa, a man or woman might even look at the ground out of respect to an elder. So it is horses for courses. But I think what I really would love to share is, globally, if we can sort of understand that power of connection through eye contact, we are going to be starting off on the right foot.
Thank you for sharing that. That's really fascinating, because I've not heard that before. So if you are looking at the person and you look them in the eyes for the 2 seconds or however many seconds, what if you look away? Isn't that considered to be disrespectful, or is that respectful?
That's disrespect. That's breaking rapport. So if I'm talking to you and all of a sudden I'm looking over here and I'm all over the place, I'm not connected. But and also I don't want to be staring you down. You're going, ooh, this guy's creepy. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. No, we don't want to stare someone down. And that's where people, I think, are really flummoxed. They think eye contact, you've got to look and gaze into someone's eyes. No. 3 seconds, long enough to know the color of the person's eyes, then connect on the human triangle. So here, move around, but you're not moving around you're just gazing. You're just looking into that person's facial, content of the person's face.
Thank you, Philip. I'm going to lock that in my memory bank.
It really works. It's phenomenal.
That's a great tip. So you brought another fabulous guest to the show. Tell our audience about YALIN.
The most gorgeous, wonderful young lady, YALIN Zhao, all the way from China, speaks Italian, English, and Chinese, obviously. She's based out of Italy, just outside a little town, or the city of Turin. And YALIN is also incredibly well-traveled. She's passionate about fitness. She's passionate about meeting other cultures, but she is a professional dance teacher, a dancer. And YALIN joined our program about 2 months ago on Train the Trainer, and is just phenomenal at what she does. She absorbs everything. She takes things on board, and she's got such an amazing concept and idea to share with all of you today. And I just really look forward to all of you out there listening to what YALIN has to share with us. Bearing in mind, ladies and gentlemen, her mother tongue is Chinese. She speaks English and Italian. So over to you, YALIN. A very warm welcome.
Welcome to our show. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Hi. Good
Hello,
morning. Good
Jacalyn and Felix and everyone here.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much. So you're a dance teacher and an etiquette consultant. Tell us a little bit more about your background in these areas.
Now I'm a ballerina and a dance teacher in Italy. And I learned the ballet only 4 years when I was already 27 years old as adult ballerina. before I started this journey, my teacher already told me a rough truth that I don't have no possibility to be a superstar on the stage anymore. But I trust the value of this art in my personal life can never be ignored. So I insist to take the intense training as other professional ballerinas. And with the help of my teacher, she is teacher of Royal Academy of Dance in London. Finally, I passed the professional exam. I get the first certificate, and now I'm a dance teacher. And this experience gave me the inspiration that once we decided to do something, we could make the miracles. And I wish everyone, if you have any dreams, never be afraid. If you try that, we can do it.
Thank you.
Amazing. Wow. Amazing. Love it. If that's not inspirational, I don't know what is. That is so inspirational. You know, I mean, firstly, to take on an amazing career in dance at that age and that stage, and believing in yourself, the knowing that you could do it, actually using it as fuel to ignite you and to launch you into this sort of arena is just amazing, YALIN. Well done.
Thank you.
And YALIN, how did you find out about the British School of Excellence and meet Mr. Philip?
In my life, yes, before I was ballerina, after I fulfilled one of my dreams, there one moment I feel I would like to be stronger, and I need another strength to help me. I took a long time to figure out what it is. Then finally I found it's etiquette, because in my life I have a beautiful grandma, and she is the muse who inspired me, that an elegant lady. The people around her, they would like to sing along with her to melt into the melody of her manners. So I found the good manners and etiquette are like the fascinating music as a beautiful instrument, and the reverberation of the string will echo in everyone's heart. And this magic instrument, she has it, and I would like to have it too, but I don't know where I can find it. Till the day I found the British School of Excellence.
Wow, that was a beautiful answer. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Isn't that amazing? And YALIN, your grandmother obviously had a huge amount of influence in your life, correct?
Yes, I grown up with her since I was only eight months.
8 months old.
Yeah.
And which part of China did you grow up in? Which part of China?
I grown up in southern, near Shanghai.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, I mean, Dr. Jacalyn, as you can see, you know, this amazing person has just really just moved way out of her comfort zone, leaving Asia, and not only just leaving Asia, but learning new cultures, learning, you know, something that just pushed her beyond, I think, a lot of people's own sort of desire to do something. You know, it is that desire to actually do something. And then, like everything in this world, we go out there and we try and find who can help us. Where can we go in this world? Who can help us? Who can guide us? And I think this is the power of having a vision and then engaging with whatever organization you can find the best of the best to help you elevate yourself to the next level.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Philip. And, you know, I love what you were sharing backstage about you want to bring etiquette and dance together. Can you tell us a little bit more about why you're passionate about this?
In my life, the dance is a strong expression of life. It opposes to my everyday. is the reason I every day get up. Is the reason I get through in every difficult time, especially in the hard time. I feel I cannot carry anymore. But the etiquette gave me the stronger inner power, especially under the with the help of Philip and Lian. And that's the first time I found I'm not alone, and there are other people. They are stronger than me, and they understand how to use the right way to help me. And especially in the experience in the with the lesson of Philip, which really shocked me and surprised me, the way of his teaching. I remember vividly the first lesson I got from him. The way of teaching is so advanced. It breaks and turns down and age-old stereotypes. I was so hurried to know how could I become an elegant lady soon. I would like to know how to drink coffee in an elegant way soon. I would like to know how many seconds I should stare on others' eyes was appropriate. But Philip taught me in another way. He introduced a lot of famous and helpful quotes and history at first. But at that moment, I didn't understand it. I understood it after 3 days. It takes time. Especially it's a little bit slow, works slow on me, and I tried my best to understand it. Finally, I found he was analyzing and deconstructing what made people connect with certain type of manners and cultures. This way of teaching helped me to find where my problem lays. My problem is I didn't know how to appreciate others in right way. And the first step to appreciate is to respect others from heart. That's really shocked me. And the first time I met the way of teaching only in the British School of Excellence. And in future, I would like to use this way of teaching to help other people, to let people trust that with appropriate work and a smart approach, there's no limit to what we can do. And so I wish and I trust that the culture of etiquette use this right way of teaching will influence our everyday life, even in family life, surely in work life. And that's so much. It's something pressure as a jewelry, and I wish everyone to know that. Thank you.
You speak English beautifully.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Philip, you're on mute.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just, I think if one can really look at this from a point of view of how, I suppose, we move and dance, and if you think about ballet as a form of one of the forms of dance, it is so beautiful to watch. It's graceful, it's elegant, there's posture, there's poise, there's presence involved, and if you can combine those two sort of areas of life together, I think you're going to have magic on your hands. And funny enough, YALIN, you're not the first amazing ballet dancer and dance teacher to come through the program. There's an incredible woman in Hong Kong who many years ago went through the program with the view to introduce the power of etiquette and manners into her dance school, and she's done an exceptionally good job at doing that. Yeah.
So I'm wondering for someone who's curious, what are some tips that you can give when it comes to proper etiquette in dance?
There are some tips. There are some tips I use. I The first tips is I tried to be a better listener, because before I took the lesson with Philip, I was I was a woman. I look at everything from my perspective, and that's the reason why I feel there is a confine that keep me far away from others, from this world. I tried my best, but I cannot understand them. But after the lesson, I found the key is first to respect and to be a good listener, and at the same time, we could use the tips of etiquette. Even in the communication with our families, we could try to be more. When we meet something we cannot understand, we could try to open up more to the cultures that we might fit strange and palatable at first time, and step by step, we will be more modern. We will be our heart be more calm, and we feel we are not so hard as our heart, not as hard as marble. Our heart as the water. Our heart is same beautiful as our natural. We could try to give more space to others. And as I would like to share experience that I had in Italy, is usually in Italy when people would like to know new friends, they usually ask a question. Once my friend, they asked me that what they held a cup of water, the only half cup of water inside. They asked me that what I saw, and I said, I saw their half cup of water and also their half cup of space. But this half cup of space is important because there are new possibilities, and these new possibilities are key that might determine the nature of this water. And I think we could try to use this space. We could try to give others more space to express, to let them tell us what they feel, what they would like to know, what they think. After this use, after use this tool, we found we get more closer, and the quality of our communication is better. That's what I learned, and I wish Philip, if I could help me. Thank you.
I love that idea about space. I haven't heard that before. When is the glass half full or is it half empty? But I love the way that you reframed it for us. Philip, what are your thoughts?
I think it's wonderful that it's perspective, and that's what life's about. It's the same as again, watching dance or watching music or listening to music or watching a live band. It's perspective, and we all have an opportunity to look at things differently and handle things differently. But in doing that, we do need tools. We need a toolbox, and a skill set to be able to sort of engage on different levels and that sort of thing. And I think the correlation between movement, or even in America, you'd have to call it, in the UK, we would say riding, which would mean horseback riding. We would say, right, if you think about the movement riding on a horse, as you see a ballerina move on the dance floor, there is such, in my opinion, a wonderful correlation of interaction, whether you're a solo dancer or whether you are, interacting with other dance partners and that sort of thing. There's still such a wonderful art of mannerisms and respect and being thoughtful and being intuitive and being in tune with one another. And that there I can see such a wonderful correlation with what we've been talking about.
Yes, I agree with you. When I think of ballet, I think of grace and beauty and strength.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, if you think about, if any of us who've never been taught ballet and you try and do a movement, any movement within the sequence of ballet, I tell you what, you just hope the world's not watching you. You might look like you've got two left feet. Yeah, but it is. And actually, funny enough, if I could wind, it's not a regret, but if I could, and I know what Yalyn's going to say to me, it's not too late, but if I could wind the clock back, actually learning ballet, I think I would have absolutely loved that experience. I really would. From a point of view of just building strength, building movement, posture, poise, beautiful grace. I just think to be able to be in tune with some of the beautiful music that sort of gives you that opportunity to prance or dance across a stage or a dance studio.
Absolutely. And I think it's amazing how they actually go up on what is it, those toe boxes? What are they called that in your shoes?
Ponte. In Italian, they call it ponte. Ponte.
Ponte.
Means point.
Okay.
Shoes.
So, Yalyn, what has ballet taught you in terms of life lessons? It's a beautiful expression of your feelings and also of what you've learned. How do you apply that into your life?
In my life, and we are in the world, and every day news told us there are a lot of accidents and there are a lot of things we cannot control. But in dance lesson, I got few hours I could only live for myself. In that moment, I'm a simple human being with a simple expression, something simple as a baby, and what you feel, what you can express, a smile, and even in the lake, in the Swan Lake, a little bit sad, but it's okay. It's a graceful graceful sadness. It makes me feel life, and even there are a lot of things we cannot change it, but there are other part of life the part of life we can control, and we can make it much more beautiful. It make me feel it's hopeful. It's full of hopes. That's the same thing, the same nature as etiquette culture, and we should to insist. That's the reason we should to fight, to toil, to persevere in future, in everyday life. Thank you.
Thank you. Philip?
Amazing. Well, I've just gone to fetch a gorgeous little ballet shoe, which is actually a little keyring.
I love it.
Isn't that just beautiful? Made by Freed, and this is from Vivian Kwok School of Ballet in Hong Kong. She gifted that to all the team members here at the organization, and I think it's rather charming. Not that it's been used as a keyring. I think it's too gorgeous to be moved, hung on, or keys to be hung on. But I just thought I'd love to share that with you. And as Yalyn was saying, going up on the point, le point in French. So I just thought I would love to share that with all of you.
It's beautiful. I could see that as a Christmas tree decoration.
Absolutely. I think that could be a gorgeous Christmas tree decoration.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yalyn, I wanted to ask you again about your experience as a ballerina. When you would dance with another person, a partner, there has to be some element of trust that you're safe, and that if they're picking you up or something, that you don't have to worry. And those things also transcend into everyday life. There has to be people whom you can trust to lift you up when you need it. So what has been your experience in that?
4 years ago, I was 27 years old. So it's much more harder for adult ballerina to take the same intense training with other professional ballerina. So every day I was such worried. I questioned myself many times why I don't have perfect proportion as other ballerinas, because in Chinese Academy of Dance, the teacher only choose the girl whose leg length is longer than the upper part, at least 10 centimeters. And I question also myself, do you think it works? And because you didn't start your ballerina life since you were a child, do you think it works? And I tried to persuade myself and to trust myself again. Even I fail, but I trust again. I told myself, let me just try more 1 minute. How about try more 1 day? And step by step, I see myself grown up and be better. I since the first day I cannot even walk on the point shoes, but now I can do a little bit 3 pirouettes on the point shoes. I'm so much happy and feel proud for myself. I think there is a magic power in our heart, in our soul, and this power, and everyone deserve it. And if we used etiquette tool, everyone could have it. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a beautiful answer.
Absolutely. But it is trust. It is. I mean, I think everything we do, we have to learn to trust. And how do we do that? We build it through building rapport with one another. And hopefully people are not scheming in the back of their head to build trust and then let us down. But we've all been let down in this world. I'm one of the first people to say I've been let down on numerous occasions. Does that stop me trusting? No, it doesn't. I just think hopefully it gives us the ability to be a little bit more of a dynamic, hopefully a bit more of a judge of character. And, you know, YALIN, I know you've had many sort of challenges as you have, Dr. Jacalyn. When I spent some time doing some CBT work, cognitive behavioral therapy, the woman who I was working with, she said, you know, Philip, you're very much a giver and you love to please, you're a people pleaser and that sort of thing. She used the analogy of being like an insect and having your antennae out there, and just to polish your antennae and just be a little bit more, just maybe slow down a little bit, maybe take a little bit more time in certain areas to build that rapport, to build that understanding, and not just sort of be so eager to sort of please and eager to sort of trust. And that has taught me a few things, absolutely. But am I still very trusting? I am. And it's something my dad always said to me, you know, you need to start looking after number one. I said, Dad, one day I'll get there.
Thank you for sharing that, Philip. You know, I am a very trusting person, and my father would say to me, you should have people prove themselves that they're trustworthy. But I don't. I just trust, and I've gotten hurt many times. So I don't know. YALIN, do you automatically give people your trust, or do they have to earn it?
I would like to let everyone be powerful together. That's what I really want to do. But sometimes they give me the respect, they don't trust it, they would like to stay their comfort zone. As I did these days with my family, I try to get my family, my friends, and also myself to be more open to something we are not sure. And in future, I would like to be a person with more patience. That's also the Philip showed me many times. I now, before I was so much hard to myself, to everyone. Now after the etiquette lesson, I've been much more patient. I'm also glad what I didn't do. I can accept I'm not perfect, but I'm glad what I did before. And with this with this respect I got from the lesson, I found that I'm much more kind with everyone else. When they not trust me, I will try. When there is a right moment, I would like to try let them to try to trust themselves again, even it will fail again. But step by step, give us time, patience. Finally, we can do it, even just a small part of it. Yeah, we should be glad about what we did.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I just have one more question on this topic because I think it really does fit into etiquette and manners. So when you do trust someone and they let you down, maybe two, three, four times, what is the proper etiquette to walk away, or do you continue to give grace and hope, as my father would say, hope springs eternal, hope that they will find the right way to live their lives? What are your thoughts, Philip?
I do believe in giving people an opportunity to, if they've let you down, to prove themselves and to potentially try and reignite that trust and relationship. But I've become a lot more firm and stronger believer of sort of distancing myself from people that do let you down. Let's call it, I think 3 times is regular. If it's that letdown's fairly sort of it's obviously innate in them, and we've all had those friends or people in business that have let us down, and sometimes we're in business and we've got to work with people who are not particularly trustworthy. It's not saying that they're dishonest, but they just don't really follow through with what they say they're going to do. They might be slacking off in certain areas. They might also be very focused on pointing the finger at other people, taking the focus off them. And I think this is the dynamics of the human being. And this is where, again, the power of etiquette and manners and your emotional intelligence can really help you sort of circumvent those sort of potential situations. But I'm a true believer of giving people the opportunity, giving them a second chance, absolutely. And sometimes maybe even a third chance. But we do need to polish our antenna, and we do need to be very aware of what's going on around us, having that situational awareness. Otherwise, what inevitably happens is people start taking advantage, and they look at you as a soft touch, or they just look at you as they're able to just walk straight over you. And I think that's where taking a firm stance and sharing with people how you feel or how they made you feel in that sort of situation or those sort of circumstances is key. Because if you turn around and say, I don't like it when you treat me that way, or I don't like it when you let me down like that, rather turn that around and say, when you let me down like that, you make me feel X, Y, and Z, and giving them the understanding of the feeling and the emotion that's attached to the outcome of someone letting someone down.
Thank you, Philip. I'm sure there must be an art of the apology, but one that really stands out to me is when people don't take responsibility for their actions. They'll start off with, I want to apologize, but you blah, blah, blah. No. Take ownership, take accountability for what you did, and then stop there. Don't then put it back on the other person about what they did, because that's a different conversation. What are your thoughts, YALIN?
I thought, in guess since next month I will move to Monaco, and in Monaco I will meet a lot of joint venture. I will to meet more cross-cultural exchange people, and everyone have their different mindset. I prefer to use the tools I got these days. Is I will first to try to look up close to appreciate the color and flavors of each culture first. And if they question me, if they gave me some doubts, and I believe that in doubts, that this will be strength. This will be strength for later. If I could to give them the answer in the way they could accept, maybe we could to break the shackles between us, and after that we could to fight and to toil, to struggle together. I prefer to give people 2 3 chance to let us to know each other more first. I think these days our society is so much stressful. We prefer to do everything efficiently, quickly, and this way maybe is the problem. Maybe we could try to slow down to listen more how they feel. I think it can help us to move on faster. Yes, it seems slower, but finally it will work faster. Right? Do you think this way?
Absolutely. I love what I'm hearing you say. It's we're so much about get it done, and it's hurry up, say what you have to say. I have things to do. But we have to take a step back. We have to slow down, and we really have to be present. Presence intelligence, as you mentioned earlier, Philip, and listen to what the other people are saying, the other person's saying.
Definitely, it was very beautifully put. Slow down and give each other time and space, and let that sort of energy transform and take its toll, take its time. And there might be some sort of misunderstandings along the way and discussions and that sort of thing. But giving us that time with each other will help us build far better relationships and bonds, I think, and hopefully better trust.
I definitely agree with you. It's something that we've spoken about before, but I think it really warrants repeating is when there's silence between two people or in a conversation, when no one is actually saying anything, people get very uncomfortable. They start looking around and are you listening? But that's where the real growth takes place. We don't have to fill every single second with words. Now we're on a TV show today, so that's different. If we weren't saying anything, people would just stop watching. But what are your thoughts about that growth in the silence, Philip?
It's so powerful. The power of the pause. We talk about the power of the pause or the pondering pause. It gives us that moment just to reflect. It gives us that moment to, if YALIN asks me a question, do I just blurt out an answer, or do I stop? Do I pause? Do I take on board what has been shared with me? And then, 9 times out of 10, when people pause before they answer something, you're going to get hopefully a far more dynamic answer. You're going to get hopefully dynamic, hopefully the content of the answer, or just you're going to get a lot more magic happening by slowing down and giving people that opportunity just to take on board what's been shared with them. And many years ago, someone once said to me, learn to be the slowest person in the room. And that didn't mean the dimmest. Person. My brothers and I have a standing joke with one another. We call each other lampy or lampshades, stopping a lampshade, which means you're being dim. So I'm not talking about being a lampy or a lampshade. I'm just saying be the slowest person in the room. So for example, if you're in a board meeting or you're with a group of friends engaging around a dinner table or a restaurant table, and you're listening to the conversation that's going on, and then when you pause and you interact or interject into the conversation, most of the time people are going to look at you and say, well, something good is going to come from that person, because they really do take time to absorb with what's going on. They take time to ponder. That pondering pause is very, very powerful.
Thank you, Philip. I think it shows respect also that someone is actually taking the time to think about what you ask because they care.
Absolutely.
YALIN, how do you feel in the silence if you're having a conversation with someone and then there's just silence for 10 seconds, 15 seconds? Does that make you feel uncomfortable, or do you thrive in that?
Before, I feel uncomfortable totally. I cannot insist only 1 second without words. But now I try to feel, and at first I try to watch. I try to look at what they're doing. They're thinking what they're gonna do. Step by step, I try to let myself habituate. How about let's to enjoy the beauty of life, the beauty moment of life. Yeah.
Thank you. That is beautiful. We've actually come to the end of our show. Sadly, I always have so much fun on these shows. So, YALIN, we have your banner up for people who are watching. They can see your email address and how to reach you. Who would you like to contact you?
Everyone could contact me. I am so much honored today to be here. It's my first time on TV. Yeah, I'm so much happy today. Yeah, I cannot to express it with words. Yes.
You did so well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Beautiful. And for our friends who are listening on the radio or on a future podcast, the email address for YALIN is, I'll say it slowly, it's numbers 1-866-733-83589 at 163.com. There you go. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for being our guest.
I bet you with that email address, you don't get hacked or you don't get spam. That's for sure. I bet you that's a very safe sounding email address. And YALIN in Chinese, 谢谢,
谢谢.
and grazie, and thank you so much for joining us today. It has been an absolute joy.
Thank you for all your tolerance and patience with my slow words, and thank you for help, and especially thank you for the time we shared together. This for Italy it's afternoon, for America it's morning, I think, and in London it's afternoon too. Yeah, that's what I really appreciate, and we shared with each other the unique moment, the day, the time can never back anymore. So this time you shared with me, I really thank you for that. And what I would like to say is what I learned is to appreciate the mind behind the action. Yeah, when we see the action and the result, maybe we see everything. It's not perfect, but if one day we see the beautiful mind before that, behind it, no, it's beautiful because the mind, the heart is beautiful. Yeah, I really appreciate the heart of Jacalyn and Philip. Thank you so much. And everyone here, thank you so much for the time shared with me.
Thank you. You were an excellent guest. Your English is perfect. And thank you so much for sharing from your heart.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a wonderful weekend, YALIN, and safe travels to Monaco.
Yes.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye for now. Oops. I always feel bad pushing that remove button.
I know. But unfortunately, time does go, and we can't ask for more time. Unfortunately, when it's gone, it's gone.
It's very true. Well, another brilliant show. Thank you so much, and thanks to Leanne. And I really do appreciate you, and I love what we're doing in this space. And by the way, I thought it would be great if we had next year we had a show, since you are an expert in tea, the history of tea. It would be fun to have afternoon tea with Philip.
We've got to do something. We really do. One thing what we can do is we can get together in person. Are you still coming over to the UK, by the way?
No, I'm not coming over, unfortunately, not this year. But I'm still a judge for Women of Heart Awards. But next year, hopefully. But you'll be coming over here at some point too, right?
I'll be getting across over the next in the next short while. But we could even go to Albuquerque and broadcast from Albuquerque, from St. James's Tea Room in Albuquerque. We had 3 incredible people from St. James's Tea Room from Albuquerque in New Mexico do our Train the Trainer program, and they are going to soon be guests on the show as well. And if anyone out there listening in New Mexico, Albuquerque, or you're looking for something to do this weekend or next weekend, I'm going to encourage you to look up St. James's Tea Room in Albuquerque. It is mind-blowing, incredible people. They are doing wonderful work with not just the art of afternoon tea, but giving people confidence and the tools to be far more dynamic with their etiquette and manners and just putting their best foot forward. So, Dr. Jacalyn, one of these days we'll be having an afternoon tea live together.
I truly look forward to that, Philip. That will be an absolute honor.
No, absolutely. So, yeah.
So, Philip, yeah, the future looks bright.
Absolutely. There's so many exciting things that I know you're working on and we're all working on. So we're going to be keeping the momentum going. And yeah, I'm just excited to see how your incredible channel's growing, and how many more people are just embracing the incredible guests that you bring to the party. It's just mind-blowing. It's just wonderful.
Well, thank you. And I'm all about collaboration. So I really hope people are reaching out to one another and coming up with some great ways to partner together, or just be friends and learn from one another.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Phil, we have your information here, but if you wouldn't mind just sharing it with our friends who are listening on the radio, that would be great.
Certainly. Ladies, gentlemen, any of you out there who want to make contact with us, email address is hello@thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. And the website is thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. I do engage on WhatsApp on +44 780 885 9914. So please do make contact. If there's anything we can guide you on or steer you on, we would love the opportunity to connect with you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Philip. We are going to be signing off now as our next show is coming right up. It's Talking Heads. And Philip and I will be back next week. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you, YALIN.
Thank
Bye
you.
for now.
Wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.